absolutely. So if we look here at the two setups, okay, the left-hand one now is kind of the new position, that ball's back a little bit. You just generally look more facing the camera, whereas this one now you sort of look a bit more lean on your left side, your hand's a bit further forward, that ball's a bit further forward, kind of in terms of where we got it there. Everything's sort of a bit more too much on this left side. And again, I would say if we go a line straight up from your left foot there, your shoulders through that, if you go straight from your right foot, you can see how much your body's on the left side. But if we go kind of from here now, up to your left foot, everything now is a little bit more kind of just in sync, isn't it? It's just lined up better. Yeah, if you look at all the tall players on TV, whether it be anyone.
That is a lot better than that.
Oh, massive. I mean, if you look at all the, I mean, even Sheffield's got a funky little movement. Look at all their setups.
Yeah.
The one thing you'll see with tour players, consistencies they have, they've all got different swings, different arm movements. But if you took away their arms on the club and just saw them set up, they would all have good dynamic postures, fairly equally balanced weight distribution to their feet to start with, okay? And good sort of spine angle lean there, okay? And then if you took away the arms and the swing, all you would then see is the sort of torso rotating and then the body shifting and reacting to the swing, okay? Yeah. So we can get in a better setup, at least now with the shoulders aiming a little bit more in the direction you want to be swinging the golf club as opposed to swinging this way. We're not going to get so much of a sort of over the top slice and pulleys, okay? And then what you found initially when you're on this left-hand one, where you were set up there, the ability now to release the club was a lot easier, as long as you're not giving the old death grip and squeezing off into your life, okay? I think that thumb pressure for me is the key. You can grip it quite tight here. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not the end of the world. It's when you squeeze down there. The second you squeeze with that thumb, this forearm gets tight. Well, the ability now to move this is gone. Yeah. Okay, if I'm loose, I can control the club face, okay? I always use the example. Imagine you're holding a pen or a pencil. We hold it in the fingers, and we don't squeeze that pencil to try and crush it. And we can control the arm, we can colour in between the lines. You look if you're any young kids or whatever, gripping a pencil in the palm, they're gripping on for dear life, and the pen's all over the bloody place, they've got no control of it. Then they kind of figure, okay, well, if I do this, I won't get so quick maybe, but I'll get more detail. I mean, want detail. Speed's nothing we need to worry about for you. You've got enough speed and power in the ball a long way. It's controlling that blooming face, isn't it, really? So swing-wise there, now as we go back, we're going to kind of maintain in that box nicely. Nice. See the width there of your left arm, hands a lot higher. Compare that to this one here now. You almost got to move back into the box, so you've swayed a bit more. And the left arm there, you see a bit more bend there in that left arm. The backswing now, not quite as far. The right arm, you can see on the left arm, just getting a bit further away from your head there, just giving you some more width in the swing. Now as you come back to the goal on this left-hand one, as we come back in now, you can see your lead arm now is a bit more extended. There's impact. Ball's just about blurring there. And for me, we've got a nice lead arm, lead hand into the club. Good impact position. Head and hands bookending the goal ball, I almost say. So head's behind the ball there nicely. Okay, that's good. And your hands, you can see just in front on top of the goal ball. So it's a good impact position there compared to... Go back, sorry. Go back to that impact there. Compared to this one now as you're coming in. You can see obviously the arm is kind of bending there in the left. And now the arm's bending a lot, as you come into that goal ball, almost trying to sort of help it. And there's impact there. You can see your hands are in the reasonable good spot, but look at your left arm now kind of protruding out here, almost blocking the shot off. So there's no real way you're going to keep that club face square. I mean, the club face is bound to be open in that position, but that's very common of somebody trying to kind of hit it left or trying to stop it go right. If you know with these longer clubs, or the wide clubs as you call them, why do they bother? If they got a tendency to leak, you will do whatever you can to start it left, which we can see even starts from the setup, getting your shoulders going left, everything kind of, I'm sort of set up here. You see someone sort of set up this way, so I'm going to go left, I'm going to go over there somewhere. But the more this way you set, okay, the more that way you're going to swing. Just cut across the ball. Think of someone, if you're driving down the street in your car, and you go, okay, right, I do not want to curve my car to the right. You wouldn't take your hand on the steering wheel and turn them way left, would you? No. Because where they only want to go now, they want to go back to the right, If you didn't want to go right in the car, put your hands on the wheel this way. You never turn, you can't go any further, can you? No. Okay, all you can go now is just turn to the left somewhere. So the more right you turn your shoulders, your chest, your torso, your hands, the less right the ball's going to go. It's like a rudder. You move the rudder this way, okay, the rudder goes that way, the boat goes the other way, It's like almost an opposite sort of reaction. And that's why I see so much in people's setups when they leak a ball one way. Now, what will happen is you'll get fed up one day, the ball going right, and you find ways to square the club face up, roll your hand over,
I've tried them all.
Change it. And again, eventually, one of those things will kind of counteract that right element, and the ball goes left. And now you go, what will we do now?
I've cracked it now. And it go right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rather than actually cure the fault of causing the ball to go to the right with that setup and that lean and slightly steeper angle, you just modify it with like another fault somewhere else. And then when that fault becomes really good, or you get really adept at doing that, now you're beating the original fault and the ball's then hooking left, and then you're like, oh, for God's sake,
It's funny what you say about shoulders and ball, because when you said that, I know when I set up for the driver, I'm very much
on that.
and it just doesn't feel
Exactly, yeah. I think we got to look at, if we just go back to setup, if we go back to kind of setup here now, just to try and get yourself into these kind of these straight lines, okay? What we want to look for now, okay? Both arms are which are the same length, which you'd assume, okay? Yeah. So the fact one hand is on the club further than the other one, you'd expect your shoulders to be in a slight tilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have to be, otherwise one arm's got to bend.
Yeah.
Or the right shoulder has to be further forward to allow the right hand to get on there, okay? We want both shoulders to be kind of outside the edge of your feet there in a nice sort of neutral kind of balance setup. If we're in that position, we've got a fighting chance, yeah? The second you get too much left-sided leany, one arm now has to bend and react. It just creates a multitude of problems. And then when you get good at timing it, or you go to a range, and you can see the ball well. There's a good golfer certainly in there. And the problem is, if you go to the driving range with this setup on the right-hand side, like so, eventually after, say, 30, 40, 50 golf balls, you'll find straight from a perfect lie with no consequence. And the ball's going straight. You're like, okay, boys, I cracked this. Yeah. Bring on Saturday, let's double the stakes. Yeah. First tee, whing, 40 yards right. Second shot, 30 yards left. You're like, oh, God, here we go again. Yeah? Rather than actually going to the range and going, right, I'm going to fix this properly, cure the fault rather than compensate with another fault. Because 4 wrongs can make a right. Yeah. Once or twice.
Yeah, because you can't keep those 4 wrongs consistently across.
But if you're just in the same over and over and over and over again, great. But if you're in that, I mean, you're in a hybrid on the first tee on the button, maybe. Again, you're not in that club then for like 4 holes later. That's going to be 40 minutes. Yeah. What memory of that one that curved off to the right have you got? The one that pulled left? Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. Which is why every time we say, oh, what's the best ball to get a provisional? Because a provisional will always go straight. You carve them 50 yards around the trees, give me the ball, boys, chuck it over, pop it down there. Remember that first time?
The provisional is always better, isn't it?
Exactly. It's the one time you're in the same club from the same spot with the same swing, but able to react to it. Yeah. So if you were in 50 yards right on the first shot, you will not go right the second shot. So one goes 50 yards left, it will not go left for the next one. Because you know what the feeling is to adjust. It might go too far the other way, but it won't follow that ball out there rarely. I mean, it does often happen, but more often than not, the provisional is always a pretty much smash on the fairway. But if we can get that setup better, get in that tilt, and I would practice that repetition of setup.
Setup is
feet to get. Oh, for me, it's 95% of a golf shot. Yeah. Set it with the feet together. Let the club just sort of sit down by your left thigh, then get this lead arm, hand and shoulder in a sort of fairly straight line. Then get your tilt and put your hands on the golf club and then set your feet. Right. The last thing you set is your feet, you'll be setting them to comfort. You're not going to go all the way full comfort. Yeah. If you put your feet first and do this and then do that, and then you go, hang on, that doesn't feel right. You bring that back. Oh, that's too far. Now you put the ball back in. You'll be shuffling around. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You'll get one part correct, and you've got to try and get the other bit correct, and you'll get that bit correct, and you just keep chasing your tail. Yeah. And good golfers, and I class you in that sort of category as a good golfer, you can prove it with the golf ball, can hit good shots from poor setups, but inconsistently.
I can hit great shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. If I could stand on a range and grip it like 5-knuckle grip, left hand round there, give me 6-7 faults, and then give me a wrong swing thought, give me 20, 30 balls, I'd find a good shot. It'd be awfully looking, but the ball goes straight somewhere.
And that's my frustration, really, because I'm playing and I'm thinking, oh, that was great. Why can't I do that every time?
Exactly, yeah. You're figuring out what to do on that particular shot, but then the next thing with each club being a different length, different loft, the adjustments will be slightly different or maybe require different things. And certain swings that require steeper angles or shallower angles, depending on the club, which are based on the club, not you changing. But if you're trying to change to a different swing angle, a 3-wood's not going to work as well as a pitching wedge because a pitching wedge wants to be steeper, whereas a 3-wood doesn't.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, great.
Excellent.